The Kurds are a people who have been divided broadly among four countries: Turkey, Iran, Iraq and Syria. We do go back to ancient times. The Medes were the ancestors of the Kurds. And there are mentions of Kurds in the Bible, in history books. The Romans were in Kurdistan. Alexander the Great fought some of his battles in Kurdistan. But today, in modern times, Kurdistan is divided between these four countries: Iran, Iraq, Turkey and Syria.
In Kurdistan, as His Excellency, both their Excellencies have already said, we have given great sacrifices for decades. We have sacrificed our lives in genocide at the hands of terrorists, fighting Daesh, fighting Saddam Hussein. The sacrifices are many, and there are so many families in Kurdistan that have lost a loved one, if not many loved ones, through these acts of sacrifice. But we know that Americans too have given sacrifice, and many of them in Iraq. We're proud, of course, that no one has been martyred here in Kurdistan, but we are part of Iraq, and we have to thank America for liberating us from Saddam Hussein, for supporting Iraq, including Kurdistan. There is a very famous American, Martin Luther King, and he said, "A man who won't die for something is not fit to live." I would add, a man or a woman who won't die for something is not fit to live. And I think that's something that both Americans and the people of Kurdistan believe in. And as the epitaph to this monument says, there's an epitaph over there. As you enter this monument, the epitaph says, "Freedom is not free. Azadi be qurbani nabit."
Continued with our lives. For me personally, that did mean a change of career. I had been a journalist for 17 years before this event. I worked in various newspapers in the UK. The most recent job I had was at the Financial Times.
Do you aspire to statehood for your nation? Is that what you'd like to see, independence for Kurdistan?
Well, as President Barzani has said many times, it's our right as a people to have an independent state. And there's no shame in saying so or in aspiring to have an independent Kurdish state. I think there is a great sense of injustice among all Kurds from all parts of Kurdistan, that history has been unjust towards us. So yes, we do aspire to an independent state, but I think we also have to be realistic. The borders that have divided Kurdistan do exist. We in Kurdistan region are part of Iraq, and we should live with the cards that have been dealt to us. We should live with the realities that surround us. So while that may be an aspiration and a dream, we are also pragmatic, and we want the best for our people, particularly considering the tragic history of our people. We want the best for our people today and tomorrow.
Bringing in these regions, or how would you envision the future of this border Kurdistan?
Well, you know, we have these borders that divide Kurdistan between, as you say, Iran, Iraq, Turkey and Syria. But in fact, we're related. We are one family, and many of us are actually, related by blood. In my own case, my maternal grandmother was from Syria. I have many relatives who live in Turkey. My husband is from Iran, and my parents were from Sinjar or Shingal in Iraq. So I'm Kurdish from Iraq, but actually I'm Kurdish from all of Kurdistan. And that's true of many, many families and many people in Kurdistan, wherever they're from. And besides being linked by blood as I am, we also are one people. We speak the same language, we have a shared history, and our history is much longer than just the 20th century, where we've been divided. So These borders, we do live with them, they are a reality, but we also have a sort of another reality for ourselves as Kurdish people. How things will turn out in terms of the idea of the nation state and the borders and the politics, it's very, very difficult to predict. Things can change in the Middle East overnight, or they can change incredibly slowly. I'm sure everyone in the Middle East has seen that. So it's very difficult to tell. One thing I've learned, I was a history student a student of history
Yes.
in London University, and one thing I learned is that borders are not sacred. Borders change, empires fall apart and new ones rise up, countries fall apart, new ones rise up. Borders are not sacred, so who knows how things will turn out.